Hi there, this is Dave and welcome to our review of Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered, currently released for the PC. All the footage that you're going to be seeing here is straight from my stream that I did over on Twitch. Final Fantasy on the NES was my first experience with the game whenever I got it in 3rd grade, and I've been a huge fan ever since. Since I played it in 1990, it's been ported to many different systems: the PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, PSP, mobile, and now the PC. And believe me, I've played them all. So during this review, I'm going to be addressing the various changes that the Pixel Remaster instituted as well. But let's get this out of the way first. I can tell you right now that the Pixel Remaster is easily the best version. That's really the long and short of it, but now let me tell you why. The bones of the game are all the same. You create a party of 4 out of a possible 6 heroes, then you go around the world fighting enemies, rescuing princesses, and lighting up the crystals. We all know that. But what we really want to know here is what the differences are. Why should you buy this version over any other version? And that's what I'm going to try to answer now. Built into the game is an overworld minimap as well as town maps and dungeon maps, showing treasures, rooms, and stairwells. These maps single-handedly make this version of the game heads and shoulders above the rest. You can check your map at any time and it's going to let you know if you've gotten all the treasure chests and items in a particular area as well. No longer do you have to carry around your old Nintendo Power Strategy Guide. Another major difference is that instead of moving in the 4 cardinal directions only, you can now move diagonally. And you can run at supersonic speeds. It's just so nice. And speaking of being fast, there is an auto battle feature along with auto targeting during fights as well. Interestingly, this also includes a memory cursor. So if you want to auto battle while using something like Thor's hammer and then the heal staff every single round to just slaughter the enemies and heal yourself, you can, with just the press of a single button. There's also many other quality of life improvements, such as the absolute removal of gold grinding. You start the game with 500 gold pieces rather than the 400 given to you in the NES version, and all items, weapons, and armors are 20% off their NES price, while all magic is 50% off the original price. And in addition to that, all the treasure chests now give you double the amount of gold that they gave you in the original version. Speaking of items, there are a bunch of new ones added to heal every single status ailment, as well as ethers to restore your MP, and thankfully Phoenix Downs for revival. The little tile minigame on the boat is still there, however they removed the prizes from the Game Boy Advance and PSP versions. Now, let's talk about class balance in the magic system. I do feel that the fighting classes have been nerfed a tad bit, and their HP growth is pretty wonky too. At least it was for my black belt. His HP was down there with my black mage like the entire game, while my white mage's HP was up there with my fighter. It was just really strange to see that. The MP system introduced in the Game Boy Advance and PSP remakes has been removed, and the spell charge system of the NES and PlayStation versions is back, which personally, I kind of prefer. It just makes the battles a little bit more tactical, and it differentiates the game from the rest of the pack. Another nice addition is that if you do make a mistake purchasing a spell, you can forget them, and now you can save anywhere on the overworld without using a tent. Also, just as in all the remakes, the bugs have been fixed, which does include intelligence, so your early spells will scale to do respectable damage even in the late game. Grinding for experience is really a thing of the past, so a few popular grinding spots were removed in this version, such as the Peninsula of Power north of Provoca, which by the way was in every other version of the game all the way up to the PSP, and the Hall of Giants was completely revamped in the Earth Cave 2. In all the previous versions, you would get into an encounter with giants literally every single step, but now there's just a couple of NPCs wandering around there that you can fight. In fact, the whole monster tile thing has been revamped too. Originally, if you entered a treasure room, there would be a tile with a forced monster encounter, but now instead, there's either a monster NPC waiting for you, or the chests themselves are trapped to contain monsters. There's also just a couple of other little small changes, such as the guards in Canaria forcing you to go and talk to the king, which was not in the original version. The bridge cutscene first introduced in the Game Boy Advance version is still included, and the tombstone in Elfland now says Link, just as it did in the Game Boy Advance and PSP versions. Previously on the NES and even the PlayStation 1, it read Erdrick. The overpowered silver sword is gone from Elfland, and there's some little dialogue changes here and there too, most notably with Matoya. Another really cool addition is the Bestiary, where you can see all the enemies that you have fought, as well as their stats and their drops, and even their encounter zones on the world map. I truly love this little addition. For the most part, the game is the same game that you all know and love, but all the small improvements and the little bells and whistles really do make it something special. So, that's it for my review of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered. Have you played the game, and what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video and want to do here on the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon, heading on over to the Twitch for some streaming fun, or joining me in the Discord and chat and hang out. The links to them can be found in the video description. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.